So I began doing my quick investigation by doing just the simple OSINT, that is using the publicly available information to try to search any other information I can be able to get. And so my first point of contact was Facebook. On the left hand side you can see some page information here, okay, specifically because if I go back on the SRA group, there is no photo. If you look at all the communication, you do not find any photo at all. But we want to attach a photo, we want to attach a name. So whom does that number belong to? And that's when our very ethical hacking tool comes into play, phoneinfoga. Now, this is for people into programming. You need to have a Linux terminal. If you have your Linux terminal available, you can literally use that tool to be able to find information about that given number. And so I have here my Linux terminal opened, and this is my Conda environment, the Informer. And so if I search for phoneinfoga, I have that tool installed in my system. Now I want to scan the telephone number. I want to scan and see whether does that telephone number exist anywhere within the internet. Now this is hacking as per se, and you should only do this when you have a very valid reason for doing it. But literally this is hacking, literally, so it has to be very ethical. But if you want to really go details, how would you go about that? Just go on the GitHub page, look for phoneinfoga, and then just download a Docker image. I'm not going to go much into details about that. If you want to know about programming Linux, check on my second channel, somewhere called Static Gene. It's down below in the description, somewhere down within the page. You can see my other second channel that I talk about programming and other topics in general. Now, so if I went back and then did, if you run that particular program in here, so I already ran it, and so in case I was then to perform the finding information about that telephone number, all I am supposed to do is to, let me first copy the telephone number. So this is the telephone number. We have agreed that okay, so I just type phoneinfoga, and then I do scan and then I add the telephone number, and that is it. So when I run, it gives me all this information about that telephone number. It has searched the internet, and I have all this information. I can have the social media, the different social media that phone number does appear. So this is Facebook, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on LinkedIn, it's on Instagram, AVK, not, I don't know that. Then other disposable providers that either are working, others are not working, others are just for SMS and all that. So there are these other different services that do keep people's telephone numbers. If you receive text and all that info, sometimes they are stored. So all these call me, find who call, and all those other services. At individual level also, it tries to go as much detailed as possible, and it will try to look for the pieces of that number. If you look at all these other output, the pieces of all that number is available throughout. So this one tells you also that anything you do on the internet can always be found at the end of the day. But it also gave other much more information down here. We can see that it has still confirmed that this is how the number looks like, and it is from Nigeria itself. But as per this information, so these are links that you can use it to search more about the number. So when I copy this link and I want to then search for that URL, so if one goes on Google and then I try to search for that URL number, I should be able to get some information. So if I click on that link, I try to get information that link. These are the different output it has given me. Now, mark this information carefully. Why I confirm that this cell phone number is associated. Now, that telephone number is also found in another Telegram, another Facebook group called the Gombe Education Forum. That number is there. That number is there. And please allow me open that and we see. This is Gombe Education Forum, and it tells you that it's more like an education. They began recruiting people over etc etc. For more information, contact Malam Omar. Get that? Omar, Malam Omar, also known as Uncle Dala. So we have Malam Omar Dala. That's the name, and these are the different telephone numbers that you can contact the person through. This telephone number is the same telephone number which is found on the Facebook group, as I was showing you earlier. This one here, same telephone number, this same in name, Gombe Education. That Gombe, it is the same information which is found on the details for this group, Gombe here. So it tells me that there is already a link between the telephone number, the name Gombe, and SRA in general. Now, and the name we have found out from there so far, the name we have found out from there is called Malam Omar Dala. So allow me put it somewhere down here. So this is a possible suspect. This is a possible suspect, Malam Omar Dala. Now, we can agree that yes, that telephone number belongs to that guy. But let us first go back again. Apart from that one, which other information can give us about that telephone number? Still same info. You can see in the images in here, it is still associated with the SRA, even in the image in here. So if a simple image search gave us, these are the different images that are associated with that telephone number. These are the different images associated with that telephone number. And so you begin suspecting, now, which of this image is for the guy himself? And if you look at all these, it's really Gombe, SRA somewhere here, Gombe, beautiful girls. What was Omar doing with the beautiful girls in here? So when I even opened that link and I tried to search that, did it give me a wrong information? I can see that this was a site. I think these are single ladies trying to advertise their information in there. But somewhere down there, you find this information. Okay, please contact me via WhatsApp. This the same number. This was 2020, and the name there is Omar Aliyu Dala. Omar Aliyu Dala. So that name, two names in that case are similar. Same telephone number, somewhere in 2020. Yeah, 2020. So you look at these two names here. The common names in there is Omar Dala. That is the common denominator in all of those names. So it appears like this Omar in 2020, he was a humble guy trying to look for love, I understand. And let me look at this Facebook post. What is this Facebook post talking about? So when I look at the Facebook post, I can see that it is still Gombe State. So this was still Gombe State, and Hussein Dan Manani, nothing much special in there. And so still the similar word in there is Gombe. And this guy was really looks to be a very prayerful person. I think they have a school, some sort of. And so in 2020, he was really a very legit guy. He was really a very legit person, and was doing things which were, I mean, of course, I'm not helping him for now, but we're still doing our survey. And still under sales ranking, he's there. Still under beautiful girls, he's in there. And this Facebook post is in here. Could this be his face? Could this be his face? Now, when you check on that information, we need to match the name and the photo. But if you're checking in here, it is hard to match. It doesn't click. There's only the common denominator of Gombe, but it is hard to really attach that information in there. So I placed a pause in that information. So far, that is what phoneinfoga is giving us. If I go even further, I can see that information is still appearing in 2017. In 2017, still under this blog, you still find that Omar is still somewhere here. posting still under these same guys here. Oh, it's the same information. So this was yeah, so the same info in there, posting under. So I think he was a single person sometimes back. And there is also another social media channel that was called the Chat TTK, and it had some name called Omar Dalla, and there was this number in here. There was this number in here. It was registered in 2022. So 2022 May, still Omar appears to be under. Finally, this photo here. Remember I showed you this photo earlier. This is the guy. So he's a Muslim. His name is Omar Dalla. He's a male. He's from Nigeria. 170 centimeters. This is close to 1.7 meters tall. And this is the email address. And this is the phone number. The same phone number from the other side. The same phone number from the other side.